Hi, I'm John Sanderson. I'm chair of the Bethell Hospice Foundation Board. We are so sorry that we can't be together today to share in our 10th annual hike for Bethell Hospice. But we are so glad we're able to share a video with you and thank you for your support of Bethell Hospice. Whether you completed your virtual hike by riding a bike, taking online fitness class, or walking your dog, we are tremendously grateful. We'd like to share some of our favorite photos from past hikes with you so everyone can reminisce a little about the great events we shared together. Your participation in past hikes in this year's virtual hike allows the work of Bethell Hospice to continue. As you know, government funding contributes only to the direct care medical staffing costs at Bethell Hospice. Every other expense, from medication to food to the residential hospice building itself, must be covered through fundraising efforts. Each year, Bethell Hospice Foundation must raise $1 million to keep the doors of Bethell Hospice open and provide services at no cost to residents, community clients, or their families. As you can imagine, that is an immense challenge in a year when COVID-19 pandemic has changed our world. Each of you knows how vital the services of Bethell Hospice are to our community. Bethell Hospice is a place of caring, compassion, love, empathy, respect, comfort, serenity, and peace. Many of you have experienced these feelings firsthand, and each of you have cared enough to support our hike to ensure that Bethell Hospice services will be here for the next families in need. Throughout this video, we will be sharing some personal reflections from past hikers about their reasons for supporting Bethell Hospice. Everyone's reason is different, and they are all so important. Listen to how Susan Crawford supports the hike for Bethell Hospice.
We are hiking today because I think all of us have someone who's been touched by cancer, and having a hospice available in our community is such a wonderful thing for those who need it, unfortunately, at the end of their life. So that's who we're walking for. We all have people that we've lost to cancer, so we're walking in their memory.
Traditionally, we have a member of our clinical team read the poem. We want to continue this tradition this year and also use this time to thank our wonderful nurses and personal support workers for their tremendous work through this pandemic. They are the heart and soul of Bethell Hospice. They mean the world to us. I'd like to welcome Aliyah Hazem to read the hike poem. Aliyah is one of our wonderful registered nurses at Bethell Hospice and is happy to represent the clinical team. Although our hike is different this year, this poem still holds a lot of meaning and was written especially for the hike by one of our past volunteers, Jake MacArthur.
The poem is called Walking Memories for the Future. We're assembled for the purpose of putting forth our energies in memory of our loved ones whose lives we cherish still. We're walking in the sunshine, or even if it's raining, with each step and breath accenting our life of love and will. There's a purpose to our rambling along on this trail on this poignant day. We're not simply out here ambling, though it might appear that way. For those whose lives are waning, and for those whose grief lives spare, we will walk towards sustaining the fullness of hospice care. There are those whose needs will follow those of ours in future times. So we aim to make it certain hospice service will survive. A dream that loving kindness should surround the final days of those whose life is ending. That's a dream we'll keep alive. So walk forward in that spirit, blending future days and past, ensuring all will clearly hear it. Bethell Hospice lives and lasts.
Thank you, Aliyah. Now let's hear from Sierra Silva on why she supports Hike for Bethell Hospice.
They're amazing, just very amazing, beautiful people. It's such a very home, welcoming environment. So we're really lucky, and I hope people continue to donate because I would love for them to continue for years and years.
The Hike for Bethel Hospice has a long tradition of support from families and community members organizing hike teams. Even though our hike looks different this year, we want you to know how much we appreciate each and every team coming together to support Bethel Hospice Foundation. We have put this video together in days leading up to our virtual hike for Bethel Hospice broadcast today. So we apologize if we have missed acknowledging any last-minute registrants. Please know that each and every one of you is making a difference, and we truly appreciate your support. Bethel Hospice Staff Team, Captain Margaret Pan. Bethel Hospice Operations Board, Captain Lynn Dobson. Boardwalkers, Captain Tim Powell. Caledon Proud, Captain Mayor Alan Thompson. George's Angels, Captain Taylor Fiera. Head to Toe Family and Friends, Captain Melanie Morton. Helen's Wee Purple Hens, Captain Sheena Guy. Honest to God, Captain Carla Sika. Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, Captain Gail Connolly. Mike Motorbikes, Captain Victoria Ress Coral. Parade of Perseverance, Captain Anita Shank. Parlor Project, Captain Leanne Simpson. Team Stella, Captain Tammy Poirier. Walk for Joy, Captain Beverly Bork. Thank you all very much. Now here's why Caledon's Mayor Alan Thompson supports Hike for Bethel Hospice.
Bethel does a great part of the community. I think last year was our waking up that knowing our mother was going to need it. And Bethel was there for her in June, and we're greatly appreciative. And I think I was saying last year, the most important thing about Bethel is not just what happens at hospice, but the support groups and the networks that gave to my mom was totally amazing. And we're so grateful for it. So I think this year we're walking like everybody else in memory, not just coming out to support Bethel, but because it really touched us when we saw the impact.
There are a number of people who are not part of a team this year, but who have made it their personal mission to support our hike. We are so grateful to all of you for keeping Bethel Hospice close to your hearts and supporting our hike this year. Next are a few words from Marilyn McBride on why she supports Hike for Bethel Hospice.
Bethel is nothing but compassionate, caring. They really respect the family. They really comforted us, and it was a fabulous place.
Each year, our Hike for Bethel Hospice is supported by countless volunteers who work tirelessly to make sure the event works perfectly. Volunteers work on every aspect of the hike. You can find them staffing the registration desk, helping at the memory board, acting as guides on the trail, answering questions, helping with parking, handing out lunches, and the list goes on. They always have smiles on their faces and joy in their heart. They are the biggest cheerleaders and our greatest friends. We miss their energy and enthusiasm this year and are disappointed that we can't share our hike day with them in person. But we know that, like all of you, they will be out in full force next year. Thanks to our volunteers. Thanks for all you do. Now, let's hear why Maria Hens hikes for Bethel Hospice.
Amazing, amazing. Loving, caring, to him, to us, was amazing. I cannot describe it. Like, there are words not to describe what we get there. Amazing.
I also want to especially thank this year's hike sponsors. These companies have made a significant commitment to our Hike for Bethel Hospice, even in these difficult times, and we are tremendously grateful for their support. Many thanks to our presenting sponsors, Meadowvale Cemetery, Cremation and Funeral Centers, and the Simple Alternative Funeral Centers, Mississauga. This is their 5th year as presenting sponsors, and we are so grateful for their continued support of our hike. I'd also like to thank our platinum level sponsors, Ledson Properties Inc. and the Town of Caledon, and our gift matching partner, Scotiabank, Main Branch, Brampton. Many thanks to our gold sponsors, Benson Steel Limited, Fines Ford Lincoln, and Scott Funeral Home, Brampton Chapel. Our silver sponsor, Thomas Carberry Insurance Limited. Our bronze sponsor, BDO Canada LLP. Dodds and McNair Funeral Home, Chapel and Reception Center, and Ward's Funeral Home, Brampton Chapel. And our root sponsors, Arthur's Fuels and Barry Sweet Notes. We want to thank you all sincerely for your continued support of Bethell Hospice throughout this pandemic. It means more than you'll ever know. Now let's hear from Leanne Moore about her reasons for supporting Hike for Bethell Hospice.
And so today we'd like to come out here and support this wonderful cause because Bonnie spent the last part of her life in hospice. I know it really helped the whole family because it gave us a sense of peace to know that she was being well cared for and well looked after.
Thank you for watching today and supporting our virtual hike. Our hike website will remain open until September the 30th for any last-minute donations. foundation.bethelhospice.org. Next year, we'll be returning to our spring hike during National Hospice Palliative Care Week. We'll also be keeping our virtual hike available. Please plan on joining us for our 11th annual Hike for Bethell Hospice on Sunday, May the 2nd, 2021. Thank you again for your tremendous support. You are amazing and you make the work of Bethell Hospice possible.